What's going on, everybody? It's your big homie, the armchair operator, and welcome to another video. Now, if you're new to my channel, thank you so much for stopping by. If you enjoy the content that you see today, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, become a part of the family. We would love to have you. And if you're coming back to the channel, thank you so much for rocking with your big homie. I definitely appreciate it, and I also hope that you enjoy today's content. So today I wanted to make a quick video about the Gideon Optics Judge. It's their RMSc style dot, and I think it just came out not too long ago. Now, if you saw my previous video, you saw that that is currently my dot of choice on the Holosun 2311 Match X, as you see here. And like I said in that video, I wanted to focus more so on the firearm. But today I want to focus just a bit more on the Judge, because I have some thoughts on it, some positive, some not positive. But without further ado, let's get into that optic. So right off the hop, I'm going to put some stats somewhere up on the screen just so you can get the quick and dirty of the actual features of this particular dot. It has a nice crisp 3 MOA red dot. The glass, of course, is RMSc footprint, but I mean, it's still good for the size. Of course, it's not as larger as some because it's a small dot. It has roughly 50,000 hours of battery life, and it takes one CR232 style battery. Now, that brings me to my first gripe about the Judge. You have to take off the optic in order to replace the battery, which you do see that from time to time. See Trijicon RMR for more information. But the thing about the Judge that kind of sticks out to me that I don't really care for is the fact that there's no real cover for the battery underneath the optic. So it comes with a little membrane that you're supposed to install in between the dot and the slide of the firearm itself. And then, you know, of course, you torque your screws down, tighten down. It's supposed to create that seal to keep moisture, dirt, and debris and stuff like that from getting into the electronics. Now, I haven't had this dot very long, so I can't say how effective that will be long term. So I don't really know. I would prefer a harder cover just to keep that completely sealed and locked in. But what I'm going to do real quick, we're going to put some rounds down range. I got a target sitting up there in 7 yards, and I'm just going to show you a bit of how this dot is in action on top of the Holosun Match X. All right, so let's transition and let's put some rounds down range. Okay, now if you're wondering about the ammo selection, right now I'm running some 124 grain Magtex through the Match X, and I also got some Winchester White Box 147 grain that we're going to put through there just to see how it runs. And I got my trusty competition rig on, so that's where I'm pulling my magazines from. I don't have the holster just yet for the B version of the Surefire X300, but it's actually on the way. So you're going to start seeing more drawing from the holster and doing some more drills and stuff like that as time goes on. But anyway, enough talking. Let's do some shooting. I think that's pretty nice. Let's check the target. So, not too bad. A little flyer, but you know, we ain't gonna worry about him. But that's pretty decent. So I don't have a whole lot of experience with RMSc style dots. I only have 2 at the moment. But what I can say after doing some practicing and some drills with the Match X with the Judge on top, it doesn't really take me that long to pick up that dot. So the size of it really is not much of a hindrance to me in certain settings. I wouldn't run a competition with it, but it'll definitely get the job done. But anyway, let's put those 147 grains up and let's put some more rounds down range. So let's just see how we do accuracy wise. All right, got that fresh magazine loaded up, so let's go. I think that was good. What y'all think? Now, mind you, this is the shooter, not on the firearm. I mean, not on the dot. You get what I'm saying? A couple flyers. For the most part, we all in here with it. You know, it gets the job done. Like I said, I like the look and the aesthetic of the Judge. It has a nice solid aluminum housing. It doesn't feel flimsy or anything like that. One odd quirk that I did notice about the Judge early on was that I would get some dot flicker. Now, originally, I could tell that my mount was a little bit loose, so I just had to tighten it down. I don't think that is the fault of the dot itself. I think it just got a little loose, and maybe the battery connection got a little loose at the time. But then after I tightened it down the second time, it did it to me again. So I just went back, I took the dot off, replaced the battery itself, put it all back together, make sure I Loctited my screws, make sure everything is nice and tight and we good to go. And that actually brings me here today. So far, I'm not getting any dot flicker, but let's put some more rounds down range and let's just see how it do. All right, we got the dot back down. I mean, not the dot, my apologies, the target back down range. So far, the mounting of the dot feels really good. I'm not getting any dot flicker, so that's positive. But let's let the recoil tell the story. Fresh 20 round mag, we're gonna load up and go again. This time we're gonna do some double taps. I mean, it's running pretty good. No dot flicker or anything like that. Let's check the target real quick. Yeah, for the most part, we hitting. We be hitting. Okay, so let me just clean this lens off a little bit and let's put some more rounds down range, and we'll close it out after that. I don't want to keep y'all for too long. All right, I got another 20 round mag loaded up. The target is back at 7 yards. This time we're going to do some transition. So I'm going to aim center mass on the target, and then I'm going to aim for the small circle target on the top left, then the top right, and then go back to do a headshot, so to speak. And then we're going to repeat the sequence of fire. So center mass, top left, top right, headshot again until we run out. All right, so let's do it. So the main reason why I wanted to show y'all some transition drills is that even though it's a smaller dot, you can fight with it, obviously. And if you wanted to, you could compete with it. Personally, I would pick a bigger optic for that, but that's just my opinion. But anyway, enough of that. We got work to do. We're gonna do 2 shots center mass. All right, 2 shots top left. Top right. Again. And we're out. Let's check the target. All right, let's see what we got here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 here. 1, 2, 3, 4 here. 1, 2, 3, 4 here. So, like I said, you can definitely work with the dot. I mean, a lot of this really all comes down to the shooter at the end of the day. Sure, you get some advantage with a bigger window versus a smaller window, but you can do some work with this. All right, so let me put up another magazine and we just gonna close this thing out. All right, I got the last mag loaded up for this video. We're gonna do the same thing again. 2 shots center mass, 2 shots top left target, 2 shots top right target, 2 shots headshot, and then we're gonna repeat the cadence of fire. So let's get to it. And we're out. Let's check the target. All right, so we're here, over here. One little flyer, not too bad, it still hit the target. And that right there. So, I mean, all in all, I like the Judge. Like I said, I do have my gripes with it specifically. I won't say gripe, I'll say concern. That's just a better word. Because the dot works. The dot works for the most part. And I like the aesthetic of the dot. That dot flicker could have just been the battery getting weak. Since I put a fresh battery in there, I haven't seen it yet. But like I said, that cover that they use underneath the dot, I have a bit of a concern about the longevity of that. Because one thing I know, water and fluids will find their way in. If it's not an airtight or watertight seal, stuff get in there, bad things are going to happen. So, but I mean, like I said, for the most part, I like the dot. If I had to rate it, I would say it's about an 8 out of 10. But, you know, only time will tell if it'll hold up. But anyway, I'm going to end it there. What do y'all think about the Gideon Judge? Leave your comments down below. Let's get this discussion popping. Also, please feel free to let me know what you think about RMSc dots in general. All right, and with that, I'm out of here, y'all. This your big homie, the Armchair Operator, and I'm signing out, man. Peace.